Hey, this is part 3 of how to use store to help you with problems that you get stuck on when you don't remember the algebra. So here we go. For number 1 here, you have what is the simplified form of this expression, and this guy is very big. He's got a lot of things going on in this problem. And so a good way to do this problem is to use the store feature. Now, we're going to use a store feature called the 3-4-5 rule. And what that is that anytime you have 1, 2, or 3 variables, you're going to input a number yourself into the expression so it can help you solve the problem. In this problem here, I have A, B, and C, and so we do not know the values of those numbers. And so what we're going to do is, since we have 3 variables, I'm going to assign A as 3, B as 4, and C as 5. So we're going to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the calculator and say, okay, 3 store alpha A, enter. 4 store alpha B, enter. And 5 store alpha C, enter. So hopefully this can help you figure out a way to find the right answer. Now, since I've stored 3, 4, and 5, that means this idea will work for 3 variables. If it's just one variable, which we'll do with number 2, if it's one variable, as you can see here, you would just use 3. And if you have 2 variables, say if you just have A and B in the problem, you would do A as 3 and B as 4. And so you use different numbers here, so this is why we call it the 3-4-5 rule. We use different numbers here so that we can determine our solution by one of these answers by finding a match to the answer of the actual expression you're given. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what this answer is with the actual expression. Alright, so here we go. Since we have a fraction here, what we're going to do is we're going to put parentheses to start off the whole thing on the outside, and then to finish it on the numerator after we've done everything that we've typed in here. And then we're going to put parentheses around the 4, and then also around on the outside of the 4 here, and then on the outside of the c squared to separate the denominator, because we want the calculator to make sure it divides the whole bottom by the whole top. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to start off with parentheses, and then I'm going to start now what the numerator says. The parentheses starts the numerator. So the numerator says parentheses, so I'm going to do parentheses again. So I'll have a double here. We have a double. So I'm going to do double parentheses 2 alpha A squared alpha B, close the parentheses, and squared. So there's the first part right there. We're going to continue. We're going to go parentheses in this little part here. So now parentheses 3 alpha A alpha B. Now we have a third power here, and so to remind you how to do the third power, you hit the caret key right here, and then you would press 3, and that gives you the third power. So this button here is saying raise it to the third power. Okay. Then alpha C. Close the parentheses once. Then, since we've finished the numerator and we started it with a parentheses, we're going to close it again. So we're going to have a double parentheses at the end. 1, 2. Alright. The big long line represents division, so we're going to put a division symbol here. Okay. And then we're going to do another parentheses before this 4. So parentheses 4 alpha A, and again caret to raise it to a higher power than 2. So A to the 4th, so caret 4 alpha B caret 8 alpha C squared. And then again we're going to close it with the parentheses. So now we have this done with a parentheses. Okay, so now since we have everything that we need here, there's our expression there. This is what it looks like in the calculator. Notice that there's differences of how you type it into the calculator to what you have on paper or on your screen. Okay, so there it is on the screen for your calculator. There it is on the screen for your question. Alright, So what we're going to do is we're going to hit enter. This is the answer we get, 0.028125. This is the answer that we get from this expression right here. And a good suggestion is to write this number down on your scratch paper or paper, whatever you have as you're doing your tests. Okay. So now what you do is you write this guy down, and this is the guy we're going to have to find between A, B, C, or D. One of these four answer choices has this specific answer, 0.028125. Okay, so let's make sure that we remember that number. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I'm going to clear this out. Remember, it's got to be 0.028125. Alright, so here we go. We're going to start with A. So we're going to type in 8 alpha A, alpha B raised to the third power, alpha C. We get 7,680, so letter A is out of the question. Now we go to letter B. Okay, so now look at letter B. It's a fraction, so we're going to parentheses the top part, and we're going to parentheses the bottom. So parentheses 3 alpha A, close it. And then the big long line again represents division. So divided by, and then parentheses the denominator, alpha B raised to the third power, alpha C also raised to the third power. Okay, we're going to hit enter. 0.001125, close but not quite. Okay, remember our answer is 0.028125, so it's not letter B. Now we move on to letter C. We're going to type in that guy, A alpha A, 3 alpha A raised to the 7th power, alpha B raised to the 7th power, alpha C raised to the 3rd power. Okay, again, use those carets to get your exponents in there. Hit enter, and we get this. 1.343692 to the 10th power. That's a very huge number. Okay, so that's telling you that it's e to the 10th. That means it's like 10 to the 10th, which is a very big number. Okay, so that's not even close to what we had as our answer. So it looks like D is pretty good. However, we always want to check our last answer. When you've eliminated A, B, and C, you always want to check D and make sure that D is the correct answer. Because when you're matching, you want to make sure that number that you had at the beginning matches one of these answer choices. And if letter D is the last one, then it should match. Okay? So if you're not checking that last answer, you could actually be wrong. You never know. You may have typed in something incorrect here from this expression, got a different answer, and then you had all four answer choices not work out. So that means you might have made a mistake here, or you could have had a typing error with your answer choices. That's what you have to check, okay? So we're going to type in the last one just to be safe, to make sure that D is actually our answer. So again, we have a fraction, so parentheses your numerator, parentheses your denominator. Okay, so parentheses 3 alpha A, parentheses, divided by parentheses alpha B caret 3, raise it to the 3rd power, alpha C, and then close it, and then we're going to hit enter, and look what we have, 0.028125. There it is. So we now know for sure that D is our answer, 100%. We know that that is the answer. We've matched our answer from the beginning, and we've matched our answer to letter D. And we know that as 100% accuracy that this answer is correct. Alright, so we have matched that answer. And so that's what you're going to do when you have the 3, 4, 5 rule. You're going to put in 3, 4, and 5 when you have 3 variables. You're going to put in 3 if you only have 1. Put in 3 and 4 if you have 2 variables, and you plug them in. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to go over number 2. And number 2 has a lot of stuff going on here with your numerator and denominator, but this is actually a good problem because there's a lot of things that negative exponents has done in the past that might get you in trouble. You never know, because you may not remember what to do with negative exponents. Okay, but the beauty is that if we input a number in for our x, we can be able to figure out which one of these answers will match this expression. So again, the question says which represents this expression in simplest form. Okay, so we're going to put in a number in for our variable x, and then we're going to see, okay, is it A, B, C, or D? Alright, so here we go. Since we have one variable, we're going to use the 3, 4, 5 rule. Okay, in this case we only have one variable, so we're going to assign 3 as the only number we're going to use with x. So 3 store x, the start. Okay. Now again, we have a fraction, so we're going to parentheses the top, parentheses the bottom. Okay. So here we go. Parentheses the start, and then type in what it is in the numerator. 15 parentheses alpha x. Okay, now since it's a negative exponent, negative 2 here, you're going to use the caret again. Okay, so anything less than 2, you can use the caret as well. So we're going to do caret negative 2 parentheses. So we finished this whole part so far, but notice that we are raising on the outside of the parentheses a third power as well. So we're going to hit caret 3 here as well on the outside of this parentheses. Then we close it. There's your numerator. Okay, big long line again represents division, so we're going to hit divide. Okay, now we're going to do parentheses. Start off with the parentheses for the denominator, and then I'll type in your denominator. 3 parentheses alpha x caret negative 4 parentheses, and again we have another power on the outside of this parentheses, so we're going to hit caret negative 3. Close your parentheses. So there's your denominator, and there's your expression. Again, look at how it looks like here in the screen versus what it looks like on your paper or on the screen here. Okay, it's different, totally different than what you have here to here. Okay, you have to know how to type it into the calculator in order for you to do this. And so taking that time and learning what you need to do from here to here is going to be very valuable. Okay, you might get a problem or two that have a fraction and that could help you. Alright, so I'm going to hit enter. Alright, so this is a crazy decimal we have here. Alright, 1.290587, and we're just going to stop there. Okay, so what we have to remind ourselves is that once we get this answer, we write it down on our paper, scratch paper, whatever you have. Okay, you write it down on your paper. Okay, 1.2905. Okay, that's what we're looking for, and that's the answer that's going to be one of these 4. Okay, so once you have this answer written down, this is what we're looking for. One of these 4 answers has this exact answer. Alright, so let's figure out which one has 1.2905 as our answer. Here you go. Alright, so we're going to do A, B, C, and D. Now look at these fractions here. Now this is something different that I'm going to do with these fractions. Notice that there's not very many things going on here. There's just one number here for the 12 and one basic value here with x to the 6. Since we have small values here and that there's not a lot of things going on, just like in this part here, there's a lot of things going on, we don't need to do the parentheses when there's one thing for the numerator and there's one thing for the denominator. Okay, so I'm not going to use parentheses when there's one thing of each. Okay, I only use it when I have a lot of things going on. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to do 12 divided by alpha x caret 6. Hit enter. Nope, not 1.2905, so that's not it there. Okay, so it's not letter A. Now I'm going to do 12 alpha x caret 18. Hit enter. Definitely not that one. That's a really big number. Okay, so it's not B. Now we're going to do 5 divided by alpha x caret 6. Hit enter. Not that one as well. Okay, so again, we're in this situation again where we've done A, B, and C, and we've eliminated those 3, and it doesn't match our 1.2905. But now we have to still see if this letter D is our actual answer. You want to check and make sure that 100% for certain that that answer is right. You just don't want to say, okay, A, B, and C have been eliminated, so it has to be D. Okay, it goes back to what I said earlier about making sure that this guy is actually right. So we're going to do 5 divided by alpha x to the 18th power. So we're going to do x caret 18. Okay, we're going to press enter. And there it is. There's that number that we just had earlier. 1.290587, and it goes on. That is e to the negative 8th power. Okay. And so that's telling us for sure that letter D is our answer, so we would select that answer. Okay. There's other problems on the other side of this page. Okay. My suggestion is, if you have this page, skip number 3 and also skip number 9. I would have you do these guys here, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 6 and 8 are really good to practice that idea of the 3, 4, 5 rule, because you have 3 variables in both problems right here. So I would assign A as 3, B as 4, and C as 5. Same thing here with number 8. X would be 3, Y would be 4, and Z would be 5. And practice this idea of using the store feature on your calculator to get that practice to figure out which answer is right. You could do this feature on a bunch of different problems that can help you get through some of the questions on your test, so that you can focus on the ones that you do have to do work on. And so I highly recommend, if you have this paper, to do those problems here on the back side. Okay? Thank you, and have a great day.